Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am talking about the film Get Out, which was written and directed by Jordan Peele. It had a box office of $4.5 million, and it has, in 2 weeks, it's made $76 million, which is, you know, a factor of like 15 times what it cost to make. This isn't, so let's just get the preliminaries out of the way. 5 out of 5 stars. An amazing film. As far as being good, it is a great film. Okay, highly recommend going to see it in the theater. Don't miss it in the theater. All right, it is rated R, so it's not for families. It's for people who are 18 and above, and it is a horror film, right? So just wanted to get those preliminaries out of the way. This is more than a good film. This is a historically important film, and it's not good because it's an historically important film. Those can be distinct. This is a good, enjoyable, wonderful film, but it is also historically important. So I was really blown away by Get Out. I saw Get Out last night, and it was amazing. All right, let's start stacking it up, right? So I learned a lot of things from watching Get Out. Here's some of the things I learned. I watched Key and Peele for, like, I think it was 5 seasons? Yeah, for 5 seasons. And I enjoyed Key and Peele's humor. So Key and Peele are a duo. Jordan Peele is part of a comedy duo for Key and Peele. Key is his partner. Now, I always thought, and I think the vast majority of people thought, that Key was the talent within this duo, right? And it wasn't just us, it wasn't me and a whole bunch of other viewers that thought that. Peele and Key made jokes that Jordan Peele, as soon as the show would be over, Jordan Peele would have a very hard time getting work, right? And, you know, like, Key is a really talented actor, and he is an amazing comedian, right? And Jordan Peele is talented as well, but when he was doing comedy sketches, it was hard to see that he was a better comedian than Key. And it's arguable that he was not, right? But what Get Out has shown, right? Key and Peele has been over for about 2 years now. And so they did, the two of them did together a movie called Keanu, which I saw, very much enjoyed, very funny. And then this is the first movie that Jordan Peele has written and directed that has had a wide release. Okay, so Keanu was in there as well. So of course Jordan Peele was involved in that. So here's the key, right? No pun intended there. What's really amazing about this film is, now that this film is over and Get Out is done, we now know that Jordan Peele is the real genius, and the real artist is the great, not real, they're both incredible artists, and I both think they have comedic genius. But I think Jordan Peele is the greater talent of the duo, and this was hidden. I don't think anybody really realized this coming out. And now, why do I say that? Okay, so one, what is Key? So Key is a great comedian, and he is a good actor, right? He has been in, I've seen him in Tomorrowland, and I've seen him in another film with James DeFranco, where the father-in-law movie with Bryan Cranston. A few other comedies, right? He has not been, I've also seen him, of course, in Keanu. He hasn't been the leading man in any film yet, right? So at this point, he's a very, very talented character actor. Now, what is Jordan Peele, now that we're on the other side of Get Out? Jordan Peele, in my opinion, is the #1 horror director ever. Like, this is the best horror film ever written and directed. Period. End of sentence. And here's why, okay? So, one, you could take every horror movie that's ever been put out, and you could set it to the side, because in my opinion, the only horror movie that's ever really actually affected society and culture in a way that was entertaining and meaningful, and at the level of literature and art beyond the horror genre, beyond the horror genre, where it transcended its own genre, is George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Okay, so before Get Out was made, Night of the Living Dead was the #1 horror movie ever made, in my opinion. And the reason why is the themes in it about society and culture were so profound that it transcended the genre itself and was such a good horror film that it made people who are not into horror pay attention to the content within the film. People who hadn't even seen the film were aware of the film. And today we have, literally dozens of shows and comic books and books and movies about zombies, all of which are allegorical for man's state, right? So, so to me, the #1 top horror film in history is George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Nothing has ever surpassed it since its inception. And Get Out blows George Romero's Night of the Living Dead out of the water. It's just a better film at every level. Its commentary on society and culture is better, right? And sorry, I keep saying right there. That is my opinion. And so, that's a really key, I think, and that's incredible. So basically, Jordan Peele has declared himself to be the best horror director in history, period, end of sentence, right? And that's amazing. So we got this incredible film out of Jordan Peele that I don't think a lot of people saw coming, right? Now, there were clues that this was coming. One of them is, and I've actually talked about this with people, I've actually told this story before, just with people in conversation, and I'll say it here. So I really feel that, Key and Peele's show was really a work of comedic genius. And there was one skit that was a harbinger of Get Out and what Get Out would be. By the way, if you haven't seen Get Out, I get that, right? You definitely, so I have to make a confession here. I had decided to skip Get Out. And I did not see it on its opening weekend. I did see the trailers, and I thought, that's just not a movie for me. It just didn't look like something I was going to enjoy, right? My brother went to see it, and then he said, hey, this is an amazing film. You need to see this, right? And so I went, because of my brother, I went to see the film, and he was 100% right. It's an amazing film. So if you're a horror film fan, you're going to enjoy this movie. If you're a fan of good movies, you will enjoy this movie, right? And so that you can't say that about everything. Like, Die Hard is that's a bad one. Die Hard 4 is a good action movie, but you can't say it's a good movie for people who don't like action movies, right? So this one, it really transcends its genre. It truly transcends its genre. It is an amazing example of what is within its genre. It's exemplary, right? But it transcends its genre. Very, very, just spikes through the roof of its genre. It's amazing. Right now, it's really incredible to me that, this just came out of left field. But you could see the seeds for this being planted in Key and Peele's show. So if you get a chance, go on YouTube or anywhere there's a few different places on network where you can see this. And there is a Key and Peele skit where there are Key and Peele play these two ladies. And the two ladies are speaking to one another at the door of a house. So one lady brings a pie to the other lady's house, and she says, "Oh, I brought this pie for you because I know that you are I know that you've been feeling ill, and I didn't want you to have to make food, and and I just wanted you to have something that you would enjoy and you didn't have to work for." And the lady said, "Oh, that's so nice, thank you." And she takes the pie, and if you watch it, the one lady puts the pie forward, and the other lady grabs the pie by the edge and brings it into the house, right? This is over the threshold. It's important, okay? So they're talking over the threshold to the house, and the other lady then says, "Come on in and have some coffee." Actually, she says, "Would you like some coffee?" And she doesn't say, "Come in." And then she says, "Oh, I couldn't bother you for coffee." And the other lady says, "It would be no bother at all. Let me make a pot," right? And the other lady's like, "Oh, no, I don't want to trouble you in the least." And so they have this long conversation where you think that they're talking about, is this lady going to come in for coffee, right? At the very end of the skit, which is a very funny skit, right? The one lady says, "Just come on in," right? And, and at that point she says, "Come on in," and she goes like this. And immediately the other woman, who was Jordan Peele, jumps through the threshold and bares her fangs and shows her claws because she's a vampire, right? And it was genius. It was like pure genius, because you're watching this comedy skit, right, about these two women and a pie, right? And they're like church type women, right? And so it was just really, really interesting. And then at the end, the whole skit turns on its head and turns into something very different, right? And it was surprising. It was shocking. There's a lot of humor in the original skit, but then, you're left with like, whoa, what did I just watch, And it's stunning, right? And now that I look at it, I think that was Jordan Peele, just giving glimmers of, hey, there's something really special, here, right? So this movie cost $4.5 million to make. I went and saw it on its second opening weekend, and when I went to see it, I live near Philadelphia, and when I went to see it, it was sold out at 4 o'clock on a Sunday, second week of release, right? So I had to wait another 3 hours to see it at 7 p.m. And it was an amazing, absolutely mind-blowing film, and I was really amazed with the quality of the film. And it was really a very, very interesting film. I really liked it a lot. I can't say enough about what a good job that Jordan Peele did with this film. It had some people in it. So the main character is a young man by the name of Chris, and he was played by, I believe his name is Daniel Kaluuya, and then his girlfriend in the movie is played by her character name is Rose, and she was played by Allison Williams, and the acting was it was fantastic. So writing and directing, fantastic. Acting was fantastic. It was just amazing, and I really can't speak highly enough of this film. I definitely really, really suggest going to see this film in the movies. The other thing is, Jordan Peele has just made a movie for $4.5 million. I can guarantee you, I'd bet my next paycheck, his next movie is not going to have a budget of $4.5 million. It's going to have a budget of $50 million, $100 million, maybe $150 million. And it's going to be well-deserved, because, Jordan Peele has just established himself as a major talent, like a writing genius, a talented director, and the #1 horror director in the world and in history. Right? This is just the best horror film in the entire genre of horror films. And so Get Out is really an amazing film. I also want to, one thing too, there's another really wonderful benefit of the film, which I would highly recommend, and that is there's no 3D copy. You cannot see this movie in 3D, right? So it was really nice to be able to go to the movies and not have to worry about when I saw the film, to be able to have every showing available, because I prefer 2D movies. And the reason why is I wear, I like the cheaper price, and I like to be able to wear my glasses normally and not have to wear 2 pairs of glasses. So if you are a fan of 2D, which I am certain there are many, many fans of 2D out there, then this is an excellent film as well, because it's one of the few films where it is shot in its original aspect. There's no conversion issues with it. It's just really an amazing film. So get out there and see. Get out. Take care, everybody.